The United States military budget, a figure that often sparks both awe and debate, is a phenomenon of truly staggering proportions, dwarfing the expenditures of nearly every other nation on Earth. It's a sum that reaches over $895 billion authorized for 2025. This colossal figure represents a significant portion of the nation's discretionary spending. That's substantially more than the next 10 countries combined, a testament to the scale of American military might. This includes China, a rising global power, Russia, with its own formidable military capabilities, and the UK, a long-standing ally. America alone accounts for nearly 40% of all global military spending, a figure that underscores its dominant position. This isn't just about defence, it goes beyond mere protection. It's a declaration, a clear message of financial dominance, a signal of economic might, and a commitment to maintaining, ensuring the upkeep and readiness of the world's most formidable, the most powerful and awe-inspiring military machine. The budget funds millions of personnel, both active duty and reserve, fuels fleets of ships and aircraft, projecting naval and air power across the globe, and drives technological innovation, pushing the boundaries of what's possible in warfare that shapes history. Each dollar is an investment in national security, safeguarding the nation's interests, projecting power at home and abroad. This level of spending is a long-standing pattern, a tradition of prioritizing military might, rooted in a national psyche deeply ingrained in the American identity, that sees overwhelming strength, unmatched military power as the ultimate deterrent. It influences foreign policy, shaping diplomatic relations, technology, driving innovation in both military and civilian sectors, and the economy, creating jobs and fueling industries, making the military budget a central force, a powerful influence in American life. The momentum behind this spending is immense, a force that's difficult to slow or redirect, shaped by history, influenced by past conflicts and strategic decisions, strategy, long-term planning and tactical considerations, and a vision of America's global role. Year after year, the nation feeds, sustains and supports this vast system, this complex and sprawling apparatus, believing its strength is the guarantor of peace. The question remains, what drives such unparalleled investment? What are the underlying motivations? And can it ever be redirected? Can these resources be allocated elsewhere, towards other pressing needs? America's military budget supports, to a significant degree, a global presence unmatched in history. It's a network meticulously built and maintained over decades, about 750 bases, give or take, in over 80 countries, spanning every continent except Antarctica. These installations range from small and secretive to sprawling cities like Ramstein in Germany, a hub for air power and logistical operations, to secretive drone outposts tucked away in remote corners of the globe, forming a worldwide web of power, influence and strategic reach. Each base is a node for a critical point in a larger system of rapid deployment, allowing forces to be moved quickly to hotspots around the world, intelligence gathering, providing crucial information for decision-makers and logistical support, ensuring that troops and equipment can be sustained wherever they are needed, allowing the US to respond with considerable force anywhere, anytime, projecting power and influence across the globe. Maintaining this network is costly, a significant drain on resources, requiring constant resources for the never-ending tasks of upkeep, ensuring facilities remain operational, security, protecting bases from threats and host nation agreements, navigating complex diplomatic relationships. The strategic rationale behind this vast network is that forward deployment deters adversaries, discouraging potential aggression, and reassures allies, strengthening partnerships and alliances, making America a global first responder ready to intervene in crises around the world. Yet this presence sparks controversy. Both at home and abroad, local tensions, resentment and sometimes outright opposition, political debates about the cost, the necessity and the impact of these bases, and questions about relevance in an era of new threats and changing geopolitical realities in a changing world. Critics argue some bases are unnecessary and expensive Cold War relics serving little purpose in the 21st century, while others see them as absolutely essential to US influence and global stability. Despite the debate and the ongoing scrutiny, the system endures, a testament to its perceived value. A legacy of past conflicts shaping present-day strategy and a tool for future ambitions, projecting power into the decades to come. This global footprint is undeniably a major reason the budget for national defence remains so high year after year. It's a physical reminder that in every corner of the world, American military reach is extensive and powerful, never far away. The cost of this worldwide posture and the strategic implications is a defining feature of American foreign policy, of US defense spending. A huge share of the budget fuels America's relentless pursuit of military technology. Billions go to research and development, stealth bombers, aircraft carriers, hypersonic missiles, and the F-35, the most expensive weapons system ever. The goal? Stay ahead of rivals like China and Russia by fielding the most advanced force on Earth. The arms race now extends to cyberspace and outer space, with investments in the Space Force, satellite networks, and cyber warfare. Artificial intelligence is reshaping everything from intelligence analysis to autonomous drones. This obsession with innovation creates a cycle of escalating costs. New tech quickly becomes obsolete, demanding constant reinvestment. The result? A military in a league of its own, but at a price that keeps rising. Staying at the cutting edge is expensive, but falling behind is seen as unacceptable. The future of warfare, America believes, belongs to the most technologically advanced. The US military is deeply entwined, forming a complex web of relationships that extend far beyond the battlefield. With private defense contractors, these corporations play a pivotal role in shaping national security. Giants like Lockheed Martin are named synonymous with advanced military technology. RTX, another key player in the defence sector, providing a wide array of systems and solutions, and Northrop Grumman, a company deeply involved in aerospace and defence. Over half the budget, a staggering amount of taxpayer money, flows to these firms, fueling their operations and driving innovation. Who design, build and maintain, providing essential services and equipment, everything from jets, the cutting edge of aerial warfare, to cybersecurity systems, protecting critical infrastructure from digital threats. Contractors also handle logistics, ensuring the smooth flow of supplies and resources. Base operations, managing the day-to-day functions of military installations, and even training, preparing soldiers for the challenges of modern combat. Blurring the line, creating a complex interplay of interests between public and private roles, raising questions about accountability and oversight. This partnership drives innovation, leading to technological advancements, but also creates a potential for undue influence, a powerful lobby in Washington advocating for their interests, ensuring funding for key programs, perpetuating the cycle of spending. The military-industrial complex, a term that encapsulates this intricate relationship, warned about by President Eisenhower in his farewell address, is now a defining feature, an undeniable aspect of American defense, shaping its capabilities and priorities. Contractors spread jobs, providing employment opportunities across congressional districts, creating a vested interest in defense spending, making their programs difficult to cut or reduce, politically untouchable, shielded from scrutiny and budget cuts. Critics argue this system has significant drawbacks, favors expensive high-tech solutions, often at the expense of simpler, more cost-effective alternatives, and may even incentivize a focus on conflict and military intervention. Perpetual readiness over peace, prioritizing military strength above diplomatic solutions, the profit motive, driving the actions of defense contractors and political influence, shaping policy decisions in Washington, reinforce high spending, creating a self-perpetuating cycle. Year after year, with little sign of slowing down. This symbiotic relationship between the military and the defense industry is central to why the defense budget remains so high. The budget is so vast, consuming a significant portion of the nation's resources. The military-industrial complex, a powerful force in American society, is now part of the very fabric. America's defense DNA, deeply ingrained in its identity and priorities. The military budget is a powerful economic engine, creating millions of jobs in factories, shipyards, tech firms and communities around bases. For many towns, a base or contractor is the economic lifeblood, making defense spending politically sensitive. Members of Congress fiercely protect local projects and jobs, making cuts nearly impossible. Programs like the F-35 are designed to touch almost every state, building broad political support. Defense spending becomes a tool for job creation and federal investment, not just national security. This political engineering locks the budget in place, regardless of strategic need. Any attempt to cut spending faces resistance from politicians and communities alike. The result? A budget protected by powerful economic and political interests. At the core of America's military budget is the doctrine of deterrence, peace through overwhelming strength. The US aims to project power globally, deterring adversaries by making any attack seem futile. This requires dominance in every domain: land, sea, air, space and cyberspace. The legacy of World War II and the Cold War made America the world's security guarantor, responsible for Allies' defense worldwide. To maintain credibility, the military must constantly modernize, outpacing rivals' advances. This creates a perpetual arms race, with the budget funding both today's forces and tomorrow's innovations. The strategy is about shaping a world order with America at the top, preserving peace and commerce. Critics call it empire. Supporters call it leadership. This grand ambition is the philosophical engine behind the budget's size. The price of global dominance is a defense budget that dwarfs all others. America's military budget is shaped by a world seen as increasingly unstable. The return of great power competition, especially with China and Russia, has driven spending higher. China's rapid military modernization and assertiveness in the Pacific are seen as the top long-term challenge. The US response: massive investments in advanced weapons alliances and a forward presence in Asia. Russia's invasion of Ukraine reignited fears of large-scale war in Europe, prompting more aid and troop deployments. Modern conflict demands vast resources, munitions, technology and logistics. Beyond China and Russia, threats from North Korea, Iran, and terrorism require constant vigilance. Each challenge justifies new spending, reinforcing the argument for a large, advanced military. The result: a budget built to confront multiple dangers at once. Despite its defenders, the US military budget faces fierce criticism. Stories of waste, cancelled programs and failed audits raise questions about accountability. Critics argue that every dollar spent on weapons is a dollar not spent on education, healthcare or infrastructure. Some say overwhelming military power tempts policymakers into costly interventions, as seen in Iraq and Afghanistan. America's role as the world's top arms exporter and its use of drones raise ethical concerns. Detractors question whether this spending truly makes the world safer or fuels global instability. The debate is about what real security means: military might or a healthy, prosperous society. These questions challenge the very foundations of America's identity and global role. As the military budget climbs, so does America's national debt, now over $34 trillion. Servicing this debt threatens to crowd out other priorities, raising questions about sustainability. With rising costs for social programs and new challenges like climate change, tough choices loom. Some argue America must scale back its global role, asking allies to share more of the burden. The weight of debt may force a strategic shift away from global dominance. Ultimately, the budget reflects America's identity and ambitions. But is this cost still worth it? The answer will shape not just America's future, but the world's.